Hi, hello everybody, welcome back to another one. This is a step-by-step guide on how to win a culture victory. Today we're going to be playing on Sid Meier's difficulty, 5 levels above DD. Don't worry, it is actually Sid Meier's difficulty, I just forgot to show you. I'll show you at the end of the video to not reveal anything. This is also on standard speed, so you don't have to worry about changing the game speed. First of all, we need to analyze our spawn to get a plan on what to do. Here we have a little underwhelming start, not as good as I would like because as you'll see, Ludwig is not as strong and you'll need all the help you can get. Now let's jump right into our first action. First, you want to be very efficient with your starting warriors by clicking this fancy little button, Auto Explore. Now after you've done this, we're settling in place for tempo. And while your builders are going to stay idle for a bit to save their build charges for better improvements on better tiles, send your starting settlers to the closest spot available because it's all about snowball. The faster you get your cities up, the better it is. For your first technology, you want to research astrology. Astrology, because religions create tourism and they also give you great bonuses. At turn 17, your empire should look like this. You should also be surpassing the AI's culture with your bonuses and close to making a religion. As you continue to build your empire by making sure you build your districts and wonders in good spots, you should be able to scale pretty well into the late game to win the tourism victory with wonders, great works, and your trade routes. Stonehenge is a great way to secure a religion because it is very important to get specific religious bonuses to get a faster victory. Make sure you have a pantheon before though, because you have to have a pantheon before you can make your religion. So for your bonuses, you want warrior monks for their special promotions to spread your religion to your neighbors, and crusade to help them to make that conversion to your religion faster. After saving up your faith for a couple turns and spreading your religion with missionaries, purchase some warrior monks to liberate the closest population center near you. Simon Bolivar will be proud of you as well as everyone else, trust me. While you want to liberate some people, it is imperative to not liberate everyone because then they will no longer count as tourists, and no one would want that. With your warrior monks at 59 combat strength, you should be able to clear up any resistance with ease. Make sure you keep producing infrastructure with your production and gold while spending your faith to peacefully convert the unfaithful. And once you get your hands at apprenticeship, make sure to build them in optimal positions because they are very useful for production and to get fantastic engineers, which are great for rushing wonders. In this game, as you can see, we used our prayers to liberate the great German city of Kansas City. Then we went for the so-called capital with no particular reason. So now, it should be a good time to talk about the Civ bonuses for the people who do not know the Ludwigs and German bonuses by heart. Let me show them to you and for strategy for the game. First of all, we get culture and tourism for wonders for each adjacent district. This means we want to place and build as many wonders near our district as possible. This is the true reason why we have religion and holy sites. For Germany bonuses, we get to build more districts per level of population. So instead of being able to build 2 districts at 4 pop, we can build 3. Hanses are useless, so you don't have to worry about them, but U-boats are critical in a map like these, so make sure to use all your oil on them. Oh, and you do get better traders for every district you have in the destination city. So yeah, a lot of people don't know this one, but it's true. So now, back to the game. With medieval fairs, you should get an important card that doubles your adjacency bonus of your hexagonal theater squares. Therefore, your government policies should look like these because our neighbor to the bottom has been forward settling us, we should set them a friendly delegation of our finest warrior monks. This will improve our relations with them as well as secure our borders. I talked about our game plan for the game earlier, but the biggest, most important factor that will help you get the win is to build the right districts. Therefore, the districts we want to prioritize are theater squares for culture, great works, and wonders, holy sites for faith and wonders, campuses for science to get flight, for example, and other good technologies and wonders, entertainment complexes for amenities and wonders, encampments for prod and wonders, Hanzas for broad, fantastic engineers and wonders. Harbors as well as commercial hubs for gold, trade routes, and wonders. And later in the game, neighborhoods, water parks, and maybe an aerodrome or two. Don't forget to also get your government plaza and diplomatic quarter as well. You should be able to get all these districts with your OK trade routes and Germany's bonuses. And don't worry about the AI, because even though they have twice the yield and bonuses of the AI, you should be tripling their stats by turn 45. If you see my empire and look at it for a while, you'll remark how barren my land is. And while a lot of people would say that builders are the key to victory, I'd say that this normal game is proof enough that builders are not required, just like a better Civ game. Now, another useful tip I can give you is to make some research with the lovely tool Civilopedia. You can learn so many things with that tool. Like, did you know that in all of the civics in the game, there are only 5 civics with one quote, and they're all in the information era? Or that there is nothing in the Civilopedia that starts with an X? So, your homework, I know you're so excited to do this, is to plan out as many wonders as you can that you may possibly build according to your spawn. In this game, for example, I chose everything, like a good Civ player. Now, that homework is not useless, because it allows you to get more familiarized with the wonders like Mahabodhi Temple, which allowed me to complete my religion without spending faith on other apostles. And it's the basis of every pro Civ player, to just know everything of Civ and use all that information very wisely. Back to the game again, make sure to keep exploring the map like I am doing, because the more people you meet, the more tourism you can generate off of them. There are also a lot of good things that you can do by meeting new civs, by buying their luxuries to boost your yields, bankrupting them by selling your diplomatic favor and strategic resources, but most important of all, claiming back our stolen art. It may happen that you will get sniped from a very important wonder, or some great people, or maybe spied on. But like my mentor said, and I quote, "I am fond of pigs." Apart from that, he said that the best way to play Civ is to enjoy all the heartbreaks and all joys, and make your decisions with your feelings. And in that moment, I thought about that saying, and I said, I feel like there are too many Ludwigs staring at me. No one would care if one perhaps would disappear. You are supposed to do this in a culture of victory, because if you look at an investment, you can have more cities and more theater squares, which gives you more great work slots. There's absolutely no other way I could have gotten these slots, so I say it's a great move. While I started to liberate the most vulnerable cities off of the tyranny of Ludwig Northwest and continuing the fighting with Ludwig South, I am rebuilding the empire that I gained through popular demand, as you can see, with Hanzas and commercial hubs for more trade routes, and then theater squares for more culture. A helpful tip is to use a decent amount of your gold in the development of these cities, like buying buildings and traders, to boost the city's overall productivity at the same time as their relevance. So another little checkup with your stats. By this time, which turned 54, you should have about 2,000 culture per turn, close to 1,000 science per turn, some faith, a decent amount of gold per turn, and most important, 3,000 production per turn. These stats are pretty good for the late game. We can do always better, so try to keep scaling. You want to make sure you can place important policies that are in the same era and further as a mass media civic like Broadway and Cristo Redentor. So if you're able to do this at this time, you should be in a good spot. And there you have it, folks. That's how you win a culture victory. You can look at all the graphs, the world, and our empire at the end. Feel free to slow down at any moment to see in more details about my stats, my progression, and more. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll do another step-by-step guide on each victory type, and maybe on different things too. We'll have to see. So if you like this one, stay tuned for the next ones, and that's it. Bye bye now.